meters in 2019.
And another guy
inside him, Yeltsin Jack of Brazil, the reigning 1500 meters world champion, bronze in the 5 last time out in Paris, and the Pan Am champion in Santiago last year, having done it in Toronto in 2015 over 1500 meters. Inside him, for Ecuador, Jimmy Caicedo, 4th in the 1500 meters final in Paris last year. Inside him, Shinya Iwata of Japan. Oh, what a great champ he's been in time. 4th in the 5,000 meters last year. And Samuel Kamani as well, double champion in 2017, 1500 and 5, and today's Paralympic champion. So underway on the inside, Agrippino of Brazil, it's Eric Sang of Kenya, Fedor Rudakov, who is a neutral athlete, Kenya Kurosawa of Japan, Samuel Kamani of Kenya, Shinya Wada of Japan, Jimmy Caicedo of Ecuador, Yeltsin Jack of Brazil, and Darwin Castro of Ecuador. So Agrippino dos Santos going way out straight away. He finished silver in this 5,000 meters in Paris last year. He led the 5,000 for most of it, but in the end he was just pushed out by Kenya Kurosawa, who took the gold. He was the 1,500 meters champion in 2019 in Dubai. The Pan Am champion over 1,500 meters, based in Itapecerica, de Serra, Coach Luis Alberto. So a lot of them have got 2 guides. He's one of those, Miguel Batista and Edelson of Vila. And in second spot is Fedor Rudakov, who's making his return to international athletics, bronze in 2015. In Tokyo, the Paralympic Games of 2021, disqualified in the 5,000 meters final. He got silver in the 5 in his most recent Worlds in 2019. Caicedo moving up in the second spot. Kurosawa in 3rd for Japan will get a lot of support, and Wada as well, who's currently in 5th. Rudakov in between them at the moment in 4th spot. Sang in 6th spot. A real danger he is in his own right. He finished 7th in the 5,000 meters final in Paris last year. So they're coming around with 11 laps to go. Agrippino went off very strongly, holds a decent advantage. It's just sort of turned the burners off for the moment. Kurosawa up and Caicedo as well, and we've got 11 laps to go.
Yeah, Kurosawa is making a nice little move there. He just thought to himself, he can't let Agrippino get too far in front. Now, I've seen 5,000 metres T11 events before where people have been leading by 300 metres. We saw it back in 2015, and an athlete gets really fatigued, they slip, and they fall off the track, and they become disqualified. Now, any fall off the track, they will be disqualified. Any unlinking of that tether between the athletes as well, they will be disqualified if that happens as well. So at the moment, it's Agrippino out in front. It's Kurosawa, who's in 2nd position, the reigning champion, looking to make it back-to-back in this Paralympic year, and Caicedo, who's in 3rd place. And bit of an even spread at the moment, Steph. That's been a real pace-off.
No, you could just see on those first 2 laps how carefully everyone was playing it. Some athlete guide pairs choosing to run out in lane 3 and in lane 4, and that's because there are so many bodies on the track right now. 9 athletes, each with their guide, and it's difficult to make those moves in and out when you have 2 bodies to account for, and you're having to be the eyes for the other athlete. But you're right, I feel like Kurosawa, they saw the danger from Agrippino. He's known to go out, and possibly because he may not have that same kick as the other athletes, and so you have to take the sting out of them. But they have been brought back into that main pack.
Yeah, just under 10 laps remaining there. And also Wada, the second of these Japanese athletes in this field, who picked up a 4th place last year in Paris. He's looking very strong as well. Just you can throw a blanket over the first 5 groups, but there hasn't been a real blast at the moment. There is a long way to go in this one, and as you quite rightly mentioned, with those athletes, the guides having to run with them as well, it can become difficult, and they have to make sure you're not clipping the heels of somebody in front. So at times in these events, in the visual impairment, you may have to go that further from A to B to get to where you want to be, because you don't want to be in a position. Now Rudakov looked like he was just struggling a little bit. He almost had a loss of his guide there with the tether back in 5th position or so, but he seems to have re-evaluated and gone back down the inside. Wada's just dropped back into that 5th position now. We'll come down and there'll be 9 laps remaining when they do go across the line, and still Agrippino dos Santos, silver medalist from last year, who is out in front.
Agrippino had a really good surge early on, but decided not to go too far off in front, which is probably the wise thing to do, remembering what happened to him last year in Paris when he led for almost the entire race and still ended up with the silver medal. Kurosawa is right behind him, who pounced for that gold a year ago. Caicedo in third, Rudakov in four. Very little between the top six right now, going down to Wada, the 4 times world championship medalist. He, in the days when the marathons used to be part of the world championships, the world track championships, he took a bronze in 2011 in Christchurch. That was the January championships, and then at the Stade de Rhône, around the streets really of Lyon in 2013, he took the silver medal. But Agrippino is really happy where he is at the moment. So there's a situation over in the far straight, by the way, where they will swap guys, and a lot of them I think are going to do that next time around. Rudakov, who's in the neutral J turquoise, he's moved up into third spot. Andrei Sobranov alongside. He is still the European 1500 meters champion from 4 years ago. He won the 5,000, but he stepped off the track, which was a disqualification. That is not, by the way, necessarily the case anymore. As they come through, Alamari, by the way, 22.78 now leads in the women's discus F55, and a succession of no jumps in the T20 long jump for women, which is also going on right now. Here's her best.
Yeah, we'll get back to that T11 5,000 metres men's event in just a moment or two's time, but here in the F55 seated discus throw for women, Alamari with her 4th attempt has a best at the moment of 22.78. So she leads the way with that 4th throw. Started off with a 21.39. Improvement for her as they've gone through each and every time, as there was for Navarra Hernandez, who went first in her opening go. She was improving as she went along, but in 4th position at the moment there with her 4th throw, Alamari, as we go back to the T11 5,000 metres.
And we've 7 laps to go in this, and it is very much as you were. Agrippino is still there, defending his position behind all comers, but a good move by Kurosawa. So this is the 1-2, albeit a reverse order from last year. Wada has moved up into 4th spot. He finished 4th last year in Paris in the final. Rudakov still in 3rd spot. Caicedo and Wada swapping positions all the time. Agrippino's taken it all the way through. You can just see a swapping of the guide has happened over on the far side. That's how they do it. Just slips in. I'll take your position. And little step outside, by the way, you can see for, I think it's Sang. They decided to go way out on the outside lane, and they're going to try and make a move now, because obviously everybody's got a guide. So you've got 4 athletes who are right astride alongside each other. Agrippino leading, Kurosawa in 2nd, Rudakov in 3rd, Wada 4. And now Kurosawa thinking about a move on the outside, and while he's not doing that, Rudakov has got a chance to come in the inside. It's still Agrippino, and we've got 6 laps to go.
We have seen so much chopping and changing in terms of position in this race, and it has been exciting. We saw Rudakov make a fantastic move, and as you say, there's a lot of bodies involved. If you're going to make it, you've got to pull out, you have to put in the acceleration and get back in, and that acceleration is tiring. But if you're not going to commit, you are just wasting energy. We saw Sang from Kenya try a few times to move up. They made a little bit of contact and didn't quite get there, and now people are getting alert to the fact that we're getting to the business end. You want to be in the right position, but it takes effort to get there.
Well, Kurosawa, the defending champion, has just changed his guide there on that far side as well. So he remains in 2nd position. His compatriot Wada is also there just behind him in 3rd position. So it's a Japanese 2 and 3 at the moment, but it's the man who's led from the very beginning, Julio Cesar Agrippino dos Santos, who still leads out in front, having changed his guy a little bit earlier as well. When they come down, they'll have 5 laps remaining in this men's T11 5,000 metres complete visual impairment category final. So head down across the line. It will Brazil in 1st, Japan in 2nd, and Japan in 3rd. Now the man in 3rd position there, Wada, just had a little bit of a clip of the heels of his guide. Rudakov still there in fourth position. Now, I have to say with Rudakov, he doesn't look completely comfortable when he's running with his guide. He hasn't got that real cadence that they have between each other as they run there. He's in fourth position at the moment, but they are starting to bunch up somewhat, that opening 5 athletes and their guide. So they've a bit of a distance to go as we head up just past the 9.5-minute mark. There's another guide change over there. It looks like it's for the leader, Agrippino dos Santos, again. So he's made a guide change there as well, and he's just gone slightly wider to make that guide change, but he does get back inside, you can see there, back into the first position. So it is Karasawa who sits in second behind him, and wider there as well. And it is Rudakov back in fourth position, and Yeltsin Jacques of Brazil, the second of those Brazilians there in that top 5, who is in that current position at the moment. But you can throw a blanket as they start to move down this straight here, and when they come past, they'll have 4 laps remaining in this final, the first track final of these championships, and it's boiling up quite nicely at the moment. So it's Brazil first, Japan second, Japan third, but heading down the outside, it is the other Brazilian, Yeltsin Jacques, who's come right around the outside. He's making a move for it with 3 laps to go.
He was 6th. He's moved up into second spot. Agrippino over on the backside last time had lost the lead, and he loses the lead here. It's Yeltsin Jacques who's out in front. The 1500 metres world champion from last year in Paris, who first medalled in the World Championships in Lyon back in 2013. Look at this surge, coming with 2.5 laps to go. He kept so much in reserve. Now Karasawa's decided he's had to go as well. Agrippino, just like last year in Paris, led for a long time, and now he's fallen back. He had been overtaken while he was swapping the guides a lap ago by Karasawa, and Karasawa's overtaken him again, and now the position Agrippino's in, he's going to have to defend the bronze medal place at the moment, because one is just behind him in fourth. Rudakov's fallen back a bit in 5th place. This is a major lead here.
And that was quite the move from Jacques. I don't think anybody expected anyone else to go this early, and it's great to see that Karasawa sensed the danger, but I don't know if he has it in his legs, even with this Japanese crowd behind him.
Well, he's got a bit of work to do, Yeltsin Jacques. Now, he's a 1,500-metre runner, so when you look at it from that perspective there, he should have a very good kick at the end. But has he gone too early? That is going to be the question. Now, he's opened up a lead of around 20 to 30 metres there, so he's got a very handy lead at the moment, but he will struggle as he comes into that last lap. He will feel the lactic acid burn. He may well struggle and tighten up when it comes down there, but at the moment, he looks very, very strong indeed. So it's Brazil in 1 and 2, Jacques in first position, Agrippino dos Santos, and it's Karasawa, who's the reigning champion, who's back in 3rd position, but he's being caught now by Rudakov, the neutral athlete, who's going to go past him, possibly into that 3rd position. So there is a big, big gap opening up, but it is Yeltsin Jacques, who at the moment is looking to improve on his position of last year. He won gold in that 1,500 metres at 5,000 in Tokyo 2020 in those delayed games, but he's looking very strong at the moment. He won gold in the 1,500 metres last year. He was bronze in this event. He's also a gold medalist from last year in that Pan American Games, so he does know how to run the 5,000 metres. He still has that lead at the moment of around 20 metres or so out from his compatriot Agrippino dos Santos. Now, Rudakov has moved up into the bronze medal position. Karasawa has dropped back a couple of metres behind Rudakov, and he looks to be out of it at the moment as far as the gold or silver medals go. And looks like it's going to be a race in 2 between the Brazilians, Agrippino dos Santos and Yeltsin Jacques, who is out in front. And I can tell you, Yeltsin Jacques, he doesn't look like he's tiring too much at the moment. The gap there has possibly come down 2 or 3 metres, but it is Yeltsin Jacques who leads from Agrippino dos Santos. Well, they're coming down this back straight here, and he's looking very strong indeed. A gold medalist in these events in the past, also in the 1,500 metres, but the man behind him, Agrippino dos Santos, is trying to put in those big ones there to really get himself up as they come down and take the bell with 400 metres to go. It is Agrippino dos Santos in second position, chasing down his compatriot Yeltsin Jacques, and Karasawa, the reigning champion, has moved ahead of Rudakov into the bronze medal position. So there's around 300 metres to go for the leading bus. Now, Yeltsin Jacques, has he gone too fast, too early? We will find out right now for Agrippino dos Santos. He can't narrow that gap, though. They're down to around 250 metres to go. looks like he's going to absolutely swan this one in. There's 200 metres to go. He's looking very, very strong. They lengthen out that leg stride. They lengthen themselves out as they come around with 150 to go. Agrippino dos Santos is doing his best to try and cut that deficit, but he's going nowhere near it. There's 100 metres to go as they come down into the final straight, and Yeltsin Jacks along there with his guide is looking very, very strong. Jacks is going to come down with 50 metres to go. Agrippino dos Santos, he can't cut the gap down. It's going to be Yeltsin Jacks who's going to take the win here. So it'll be Brazil who take the first gold of these championships. They'll also take the first silver as we look down into third position. And it is a world record of 14.53 for Yeltsin Jacks. Well, he won gold in 2020. And he delayed Paralympic Games in the 5,000 and 1,500 metres. He set a new world record, and he's won gold here in the opening event, the T11 5,000 metres at these Kobe 2024 World Para-Athletics Championships. What a run, what a performance, what a start to the game on the tracks.
That was such an amazing display from Jacques of Brazil. Just shocking the field with that devastating move.